newfound liking of food, anime, sports, and even it comes down to the Dota predictions as well. So I'm kind of like with Kezu. I don't know which way it's going to go. Like, it could very easily work out for both of them. The one thing I want to touch on is the point that Fia was talking about, in that T1, they look so much better whenever they're forced to, like, play around each other. They group up. They do a lot of things alongside of each other. And Slark, he's not one of those big, like, sit back in the jungle and farm styles, right? You want to make plays happen with a Slark. You want to get those permanent agi stacks coming up. And Nature's Prophet, he can join in. And I mean, come on, it's Thompson playing the Nature's Prophet. The Primal Beast. He is going to be running at your face. So I like the style, at least, for the draft that they've gone for on T1. Not as strongly favoring the two supports. I know this is a pairing that they've done quite some time, but when it's against these heroes that are hard to kill, I really feel like this Venomancer Disruptor, while they provide a lot in team fight, it means nothing for pickoffs. So they're going to need to rely quite heavily on their cores to be able to make these pickoffs happen.
And look at this, T1 already venturing aggressively into the triangle, trying to poke down Frisk, but Anna's going to consider otherwise about continuing in with the chase, so I think too much occurring early on. Looks like Vici Gaming will get off to a nice start, being able to secure 3 of the bounty runes. And I think this is going to be the matchup that we're all looking to keep close attention on. Mid lane, Thompson up against XM. XM had a incredible showing in his previous series versus Wildcard. We saw those, both games being able to find the solo kills, but Thompson on the Primal Beast is something that T1 have had a lot of success on.
Yeah, for sure. I was actually favoring T1's draft coming up until this puck pick. I think it's exceptional. You've got so many heroes now that are able to create space to allow, this is a position for Undying. We've seen what Yamich has been able to do if he's able to get some of that farm and not just instantly feed his life away in team fights. But you've also got a Snapfire that doesn't have too many easy ways to be able to disrupt the Mortimer's Kisses. So CK, Puck, Mars all kind of want to be going in first. And check how many stuns T1 have. There's pretty much 0 outside of the Pulverize, right? So I think Puck is going to have a pretty damn free game.
What do we make of the lane swap that we have coming out of T1 at the moment? Zephyr putting himself down bottom here with the Venomancer, and even Vici Gaming have Frisk as well, playing with the Mars.
I think it's just all about making sure that Slark doesn't have a good game. You and I were talking privately while the draft was going on, and Slark was actually something that I was predicting for quite some time, because whenever you're going up against these obviously lacking AoE damage heroes, but also ones that don't necessarily, do have a lot of HP, you want things that thrive on being able to hit a lot, and so...
Top lane, Cuckoo. Not going to end up going down Waimon almost. Being able to also trade Yang's life here. Both heroes quite low.
But I think we can expect to see a lot of Essence Shift stacks come from this Slark, which is going to be a big positive for him. Again, 4 strength heroes, and there's a little bit of lockdown, I suppose, with the pounce coming through from him. The Lifestealer would have been a good one, like Kezu mentioned, just because, again, lane's really good. You bully out the Mars that tends to want to stay in that lane. So I think they had a few options here, but clearly they're just going with a comfort for Ana. And again, this is one of those heroes that gets a little bit more active, and it feels like that's been the directive so far from T1 off the base of Thompson ever since he's come in. Just play more active Dota. Whenever they do, they look really good.
Yeah, I wonder what the build is going to be coming up from Ana, like when he needs to fit a BKB in, because like we heard the panel mention, this is going to be a really scary game for the Slark. They do have ways to kill him, like coil into Mortimer Kisses, even the potential of the Spear Breaker as well.
Even the Reality Rift.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not the easiest time for Slark just to try and Dark Pact off the Puck coil. You see, it's one of the more trickier matchups to play, especially with all the AoE damage that XM can provide as well. So not going to be too easy of a game for Ana, but we're looking for that quick tempo lineup for T1.
In terms of how the lanes are shaping up, it's going really well for the Mars so far. Typically, this would be Slark favored.
On bottom lane, Hobson.
3-minute rotation. Oh, it's not going to pay off, though.
Now top lane, Cuckoo, he's in some trouble. Scatter Blast with a crit from Erica for good measures, able to secure first blood. So Vici Gaming off to a great start here in their top lane, and this is such a scary lane. A Snapfire with a Chaos Knight, not an easy lane at all for T1 to play into.
Yeah, crazy amount of burst damage, and whoever they find with their pickups, again, it's not even just these two that they've got in terms of stuns. Like, I'm scared for the amount of pickup potential that Vici Gaming have to have. And you are going to be able to make a lot of these rotations for sure on T1, but the issue is if they don't connect on a lot of them in the early game, then it's going to become really, really rough.
this is another rotation coming out from Thompson. He claimed the bounty rune, and he's also going to look to try and go top with... they do have the lane shoved out. Maybe some treants to tank the tower. They can even aggressively glyph if they want to as well. But if they do not connect on this rotation from Thompson, then he's going to continue to fall behind here.
Oh, this actually... They just used the level 2 Thunderstrike.
Thompson charge in. That's a lot of damage coming out. 2 points in the trample. Yang's going to be in trouble as well. There we go. That's what they needed. T1 get themselves a double kill, and Thompson as well is the one that claims all the gold.
Yeah, they needed that first rotation to go well. Like I said, they need these lanes to just explode. And this game, what they really do well with the position 4 Venomancer is they seal off an entire area and make it so that you just can't farm in that area on a lot of these heroes. They actually get the glips back as well. And we saw it happen in that Liquid versus VP series, and it's happening again.
Bottom lane, Frisk. He's going to end up going down. BAB attempting the trade, but Ana has even got 1 charges if required, so... T1. That's a big kill onto Frisk. Now able to stabilize his bottom lane. They can also get the Tombstone kill as well, so some extra gold given over to the Slark. And BAB's going to be a bit cautious.
Doesn't have the
mana. Have enough mana for the God's Rebuke, so we'll be able to get the kill onto Zephyr. But Ana is starting to stack up the essence. Frisk is starting to TP back in. The BAB will be okay.
Big wave, though, for Ana to be able to pick up. Oh, Cuckoo, wouldn't we want to be falling up on this top side? What I was saying before is, if you do get that Venomancer and have him enabled to take a tower, you open up a lot more of the map. You're able to be a little bit greedier with that initial farm, and then Venomancer can start to invade. He can start to place down a lot of those Plague Wards and block off a big area that Vici are actually trying to get in terms of objectives, in terms of farm. And well, it does slow you down so that you're able to understand a little bit better, even without wards, where Vici Gaming are trying to play, and then go for the pickoffs like Thompson just did. I mean, he tried to do it bot at 3 minutes, he did it top at 4 minutes, and it worked out really well, but it's got to keep going.
Yang is looking very vocal there in the cams. He's having a bit of chuckle. We've always been mentioning when we're casting VG games, you know, he's cruising in the draft, laying back in the seat. Oh, Cuckoo. Okay, they're still going to be able to get the kill. Abilities back up, and they even give him a tip as well from Yang. So there we go, just the man that we were speaking about, Yang getting involved to help out Erica.
That's a lot of gold being going underneath this tower as well. Obviously, Zephyr's going to be there to... Whitemon's going to be there to soak up the experience, but Disruptor's not really one that you need to be securing all of this. So Cuckoo, he's going to come back, but just a little bit too late there.
Big D ward from Frisk. It was a freshly placed Observe ward from Zephyr. And even BAB is actually going to rotate. Look at the backstab coming through from the Mars. Zephyr's going to try and position himself away from the tree line, but it's just in the woods. It's not easy to do that at all. As BAB finds an angle. And back to top lane, Cuckoo again. Just as soon as he steps a little bit too far forward away from the tower, Erica and Yang
he's
just
blocking
walk
himself
onto the Nature's Prophet. We'll try and TP in Whitemon. He should get a return kill onto Yang, but that's another death on Cuckoo's Nature's Prophet. And now meanwhile, mid lane as well, Thompson, he's also in trouble. Vici Gaming making plays after plays across the map. It doesn't matter what lane they are in. They're getting kills out of the early game.
Yeah, for sure. Thompson's the biggest one that you need to make sure you're shutting down, though. He's the only one that, again, can be that early frontliner for the team. I was talking about it in terms of the supports. Oh, this would be a big kill, though. Do have a TP coming through here from the Snapfire just to try and turn this one around, and it might be another kill.
Up the cell of Zephyr. Nice Iron Branch block. BAB will still be able to cut through. Zephyr in the tree line is going to sneak through, but the creep sees him. They spy him out. The Thompson's arrived. Here comes the Primal Beast. He's going to try and catch up to BAB, and they'll do just that. Little gold injected into Slark's bank, and it looks like Thompson's even going to catch out Yang in the tree line as well. Another double kill for the Primal Beast. And meanwhile, top lane now. Gonna glimpse back Erica. Looks like they won't have any more damage follow-up, though, after the glimpse to be able to bring down the Chaos Knight. And look at XM, he's going to continue to rotate as well. We've already seen what Thompson can do in the early game, trying to put his own attention to the side lanes, and XM, he wants to get involved as well.
Oh man, Cuckoo is really suffering on the net worth, though. Look at how far behind he is relative to most of the other cores there, and I mean, you could just see the main prerogative, XM. He's sticking up here on the top-hand side. They see him underneath the Observer Ward, placed up there on the cliff, so Cuckoo positioning very defensively, helping out with those treants just to make it not completely obvious. Obviously don't want that D ward to go off, especially considering how many times you've died. And oh, that's a nice free kill from Thompson in the mid lane.
Just a classic Primal Beasting, somehow diving under a tier 1 tower mid even when someone else is nearby. Love to see it. Up lane. Erica again. We saw the lack of damage proving to be an issue to bring down the Chaos Knight prior, and it might be the same case as Erica tries to turn it around, but the Sprout will block him in. That is a big kill for tier 1 to find.
Yeah, Veno, space created at the time from Zephyr there. Just making sure that he's keeping these two heroes busy, and well, even nice little bottle refill coming. Wonder if they're going to look to commit all of their spells. They've got the Dream Coil available, and there's the Tombstone as well.
Yeah, Yang's nearby too to try and pump in that extra little bit of damage here with the Scatter Blast. Let's see if Thompson's going to be tanky enough. That's not the case. Vici Gaming will shut down the slight streak that the Primal Beast was starting to pick up.
Oh, another glimpse back. See you later, buddy. Well,
this is...
It's pretty big. It opens up the map enormously. You just had multiple heroes rotating towards the mid lane to pick up the kill on Thompson. You just committed a TP on the Chaos Knight. And they're going to get that first little bit of information, although rotation's starting to come through here from Yang. They're going to get that bit of information with the Observer Ward, seeing that he is coming back to the lane. So you know that potentially once this tower goes down, you're free to make a rotation down towards the bottom side. And I wonder if they're going to go for it with Thompson down here with Ana. You could even TP in on Cuckoo if you need it.
They've got to be cautious. Cuckoo, they tried to get the kill onto Yang, but it puts the Cuckoo Nature's Prophet into a compromised position once again, as they fooled Erica before, but he's going to get some revenge with that previous glimpse usage.
Just got a little bit greedy there. I mean, I really do feel like if Cuckoo just doesn't overextend, he takes the tower and backs off, you're able to TP down towards the bottom side. Not that you needed it to kill the Mars, but that probably would have been a second tier 1 tower. Again, Mars isn't going to buy back this early. You won't have the Glyph available, and you also had the CK, who literally could not TP there. So, a little bit of an opportunity lost, perhaps, for T1 to really start to open up the map for themselves, especially considering how much Cuckoo likes to farm on that Nature's Prophet.
I don't think this game's going to slow down too much as well. We got 19 kills at the 10-minute mark. We've seen what T1 can do, and we were also mentioning it multiple times. Again, this is a lineup that needs to be very fast-paced. And, well, for Vici Gaming, they also don't have... They've got ultimates, but they're not the crazy long cooldowns here. Like we've seen XM already start to consider about rotating, so Vici Gaming definitely will be able to take fights early on still.
They made sure to give the tome over to Zephyr as well. Once he gets that Poison Nova available against these 4 strength heroes and the Puck, especially once he picks up that Blink Dagger, it's going to be so much more effective. Great haste rune picked up by the Puck.
Ooh, Zephyr.
Yeah, well, he's going to pop it just to try and dissuade XM.
Static Storm from Wyman. Look at the bait from Zephyr. Beautifully done. They'll try and lay down the ultimates from Vici Gaming, but it's not enough damage to bring down Thompson. Off to the right side, Ana's going to get involved as well. Finds Frisk left alone. So T1, they've got the numbers advantage at the moment. Ana's going to look to wrap around. Even Cuckoo wants to get in the middle of it all. BAB isolated from Yang. Couple of kills going the way of Radiant. Does look like Yang's going to be able to step out. No one to catch up to the Snapfire, but Ana, that's really important. To start getting involved, getting some permanent agility.
Yeah, for sure. Multiple heroes going down. It would be a very different story if Vici Gaming were, in mid lane, up top, starting to put a little bit of pressure onto the map, but they just weren't. And now, with all these heroes rotating down bot, means that Ana is freed up to take this top side. There's no tower to play with. He's got an Observer Ward to help him out as well, to scout out some of those early ganks. It's really opening up this game for Ana to potentially carry it through for T1.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I was mentioning it before, that Poison Nova is going to be such value. Cancelling the Blink when Puck eventually gets it, and the 4 strength heroes with the % damage. This won't be enough. I mean, you've essentially just... will it be enough?
It might be enough. Oh my.
Glimpse?
Can they glimpse him back?
Or the Thunderstrike? Yeah, you could bottle between them if he wants. But no Dream Coil's kind of a big deal.
The seeds of fortune.
How close to the Static Storm is he?
Back up.
All right. Maybe now they look to emphasize playing around there. Yeah, just look at Thompson's positioning.
BAB. They see the Nature's Prophet with Yang nearby. That's going to be plenty of damage. Really nicely done. They'll even enable BAB to get the kill. Yang making sure that he uses no spells, because the Mars, of course, looking to try and get that early blink as fast as possible. So a lot of their initiation
Zephyr, this is what I was talking about though with the Venomance. Not too many points in the Plague Wards, and he's going to back out after they drop the Tombstone. So that's a pretty big win coming through from T1. It might mean they're a lot more confident in fighting around that mid-tier 1 tower, considering they know there's no Dream Call for a little bit. They know there's no Tombstone, and they feel strong as ever. Yeah, Cuckoo even TPing in there, making sure they get the tower, and it's just going to open up the map even further. Even Ana, he went top. He's pushing into the tier 2 tower. So this is really good from T1. I'm liking how they're playing so far.
So with the status quo of the game at the moment, 13 minutes in, it's a very minimal net worth lead for Vici Gaming. Who do you feel like are the big winners at this stage in the game?
If not for Cuckoo dying a lot of times, I would say T1 by far. I think that puts a damper on things a little bit, but you've hit some of the timings that you've really been wanting. Ana's got the Diffusal.
Big star.
Yeah, they found the stack. You said the Diffusal Blade before. You've nearly got the BKB. Well, he will have it.
This is scary for T1.
Yeah.
Look at the positioning from Vici. They're wrapping on every single angle here.
Are they going to get away from everyone?
Whitemon, okay, they'll just get
Big
up to the
commitment again,
disruptor. XM has to use the coil to cancel the TP. That was looking really scary for T1. With the position that Vici were in, they were almost able to cut off every single escape avenue.
Nearly, close only counts in horseshoes, Lockie, and I know you don't know what the hell that is, but you're just going to have to trust me for this one.
All right, I'll trust.
But yeah, with that Dream Call being popped and Disruptor, again, it's super early. It's 14 minutes in for these 26 kills. He's just going to be up right and ready to be able to go very, very shortly. So if T1 have the choice, they might just look to group up around that mid lane, look to get a smoke happening around that BKB timing. And then with this Orchid, I like that itemization coming through from Cuckoo. Yes, it makes him even more of a glass cannon, but you really do need it to provide that lockdown that you're lacking.
And it's about to be a really scary timing here. That BKB and Orchid. Vici Gaming, they've got a... So T1 have a lot of map control. You just send Treants into the jungle, you can set up the Plague Wards as well. It's very difficult for Vici to take fights unless they are smoked up. That smoke pops, or if they get a glimpse of the Mars, if he gets caught out with like a Plague Ward, speaking of Zephyr, run up the high ground here, just face checking Erica's position. Should be an easy kill for them to find. One tries to drop the Static Storm, and that's going to be a whiff, and now it puts him in a position where Vici Gaming can capitalize on the Disruptor. Off on the other side of the map, Ana has found Yang alone. No one else from Vici Gaming is starting to move to the Snapfire's location, so it does look like Ana should be able to clean up. Counts up in a couple of seconds. Actually going to be off the mark here. Yang, can he get cute with the Jukes? No, not with Thompson nearby. This onslaught, a bit more difficult to be able to avoid that one.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we've been talking about T1 a lot, though. Let's just have a look at Vici. I mean, a lot of their team fighting rotations have been solid. All of their spells synergize super well together. And it's going to be quite some time until anyone except for Thompson has that BKB available. So heroes like the Puck, like the Mars, like the Snapfire with those Mortimer's Kisses, it's just going to give them incredible value early on. And, I mean, we mentioned before Yamich and how he played his Undying in the position for Frisk. Looks like he's going to go down the similar route, already picking up the Falcon Blade so that he can spam out the Decay as much as possible. He's not a healing type. 0 points in the Soul Rip. It's just all about that teamfight damage. Even going to go into the Phase Boots after this.
Yeah, I think one issue we might see for T1 in some of the fights is their way to address the Tombstone. They don't particularly have the greatest heroes to hit her. Like, Cuckoo's not in a position where he can, I think, be in the middle and right-click Tombstones. Like, if he had a good start, maybe that would be a bit different. At least you have the Plague Ward to scout out the high ground and potentially kinetic field usage, but if this Tombstone is placed in a really good position with the coil, with the use of the arena as well, T1 are going to have a really difficult time.
Oh, absolutely. And I think that's going to be the key, right? It does open things up a lot more, right, if you just kill the Puck. So I think the timing that they're going to be playing around on T1 is just getting that Orchid onto Cuckoo, because if they can use this vision that they're hoping to try and get because of the towers that they've taken, and they can take out XM, with the Orchid into the damage that they have, because it's pretty decent damage, then suddenly you're not quite as afraid about the Tombstone, because it's only really the arena that needs to be on the mark, and maybe you just slow down BAB before he's able to connect, but the one ray around a lot of these wards is a smoke, allows you to bypass them entirely, and he's got that Blink Dagger as well, I believe, so just really want to get in onto the back lines.
BAB, there's the jump. No hesitation with the Poison Nova out as well. Zephyr wanting to try and get some damage just in case there's any follow-up. And, well, thanks to Whitemon, he'll make sure no one else is going to jump inside the arena. So, a couple of ultimates expended. That was a smoke from Vici Gaming.
Yeah, they're kind of being corralled in here on Vici, aren't they? All of them are just playing essentially around that tier 2 tower, and they're making a few pings down here, but they don't have the ability to be able to connect there. Thompson trying to go for a little bit of the interrupt with the haste. I mean, that just makes a Primal Beast even more scary in the early stages of this game, but I mean, this is what we were wanting to see from the panel, from all the T1 fans. Group up together, play aggressive T1 Dota.
It's a big ward here down bottom. Scouts are XM and BAB moving as a unit, so we'll see what T1 are going to do. There is a ward on the high ground that also sees him inside their own jungle, so they will not be able to catch Vici Gaming off guard. Great read, Whitemon. It's a D ward. Now they've got full control down here, so it will be a bit more difficult for Vici to look to try and cut them out.
Humans are creatures of instinct, right? You just look for those tiny little reactions. Did they change the way that they were positioning themselves in the lane just to make sure they could get the slightly quicker blink off, right? Just based on your movement. And Whitemon, he's one of those players that's better than most at being able to pick that up. So yeah, the instant D-ward happening. Ana, of course, you're a Slark. You're constantly going to be winning that vision battle. You've got the Venomancer of the free short vision wards on the high ground. And of course, the Shadow Dance passive just means that he can carry around a few sentries if he wants to keep a certain area completely blocked off from Vici Gaming.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
XM don't do it.
He's got the BKB, so really not the hero that you want to potentially be going on to here.
Again, this really feels like it's T1's timing. But what do you feel like for Vici, though? Can they combat this 19-minute timing that we're going to see come out shortly from T1? Because they want to be the ones now playing aggressive with these items.
I mean, they're so close to it, right? Ana, 250 gold away.
Jumping again onto Zephyr. This time with the Mortimer Kisses, they'll get the kill. Thompson's going to look to charge in, though.
Oh.
Doesn't have too many heroes nearby. T1 are making multiple plays across the map. Cuckoo and Ana show top, so they've got to be cautious here. T1 need to get out.
This is
Thompson
big
does a
for
very
T1.
good job.
This is really big for T1. No coil. Wait, no, never mind. They do have coil. No arena, no kisses, no phantasm to have to play around. Venomancer this time around didn't pop the Poison Nova. So they've got plenty of abilities alongside of Ana's Aghanim Scepter, which I believe is coming out on the courier right now over the Radiant Secret Shop. So if they can just look to connect together, they've got a massive timing that they could look to play around. They're playing on the Radiant side too, so whether it's map control that they want
might
or
be in
Roche,
some trouble.
yeah.
The rest of the team's starting to connect. Yeah, they got the glimpse as well. Whitemon's just in range. This kill might give them an objective now here for T1.
Yeah, potentially Roche. Looks like they might be able to secure another as well. The Piggy not fast enough to be able to get away from the big bad beast. I mean, we just compare this style of T1 Dota to what we've seen. I mean, you know, it might be fun to watch a few of those YouTube highlight clips of Thompson playing the mid-Oracle or the mid-Enchantress, but it clearly didn't work in these last chance qualifiers. They got absolutely stomped in those ones. But when they play this aggressive style of Dota, you know, the tiny mid, the Primal Beast, you know, even the Morphling, it really just does seem to fit their playstyle so much more.
This is really scary for T1. Their ultimate's a backup on Vici. Someone needs to get here to kind of poke and spam
Zephyr's
some
doing
abilities so T1 don't continue to hit Roshan.
They got all the
Vici
clips
can
loaded.
contest this, but they got to be fast.
Yeah, they're under the smoke, though. Zephyr's patrolling back and forth, not wanting to give it up
The
for
positioning
free.
of PAP is going to be in. Arena's out, but Aegis has been claimed. Ana's going to pick up the second life and look to pounce to retreat. As T1, they're happy with getting Roshan. They just need to cut their losses, and it looks like, unfortunately, Cuckoo with a sacrificial lamb.
Generally okay with it. Again, they had to pop a fair few ultimates to make that happen. No Poison Nova being used, but you don't have to deal with a Tombstone. You don't need to deal with Flesh Golem, Arena, Phantasm, all being used, and you still claim that Aegis.
Hobson
Close.
charges in. Eric even pops a BKB. Zana's going to continue to try and defend the tower. Spear is out. But it looks like Vici Gaming, they're just going to leave Frisk. Everyone says peace, and well, the Undying doesn't have this capability to retreat with ease. So they'll keep their T1 tower. Thompson even gets a nice little rune as well.
Yeah, Frisk is a bit of a voice line and a chat wheel spammer, so It's a little disappointed that he didn't return Thompson's high five there as he was about to die, but clearly this series means so much for Vici, with it being an elimination series. As we look at that replay, it's a really good placement of the arena as well, just trying to seal off Thompson and Ana from the rest of the team. But Ana, just with that Aghanim Scepter, he's able to get straight out of danger very easily. And again, it's only a couple of heroes that you're giving up, but it's for a big investment from Vici.
That is a really big Corey snipe from Thompson. He just got the, I think it was the completed Yule Scepter on XM.
Yep.
So they have 2 minutes now where they can kill this puck, and we're going to see Cuckoo try, but we're keeping out here.
But yeah, Orchid going to give them insane value for now. You've still got 3.5 minutes on the Aegis. I believe Ana went and purchased the, Zephyr. Might still be
Close to the
okay.
tower. Yeah, Glimmer Cape, he's chilling. All right. Arena again, BAB. He's got a little soft spot here for Mr. Zephyr. Seems like all the arenas have been used like that. Thompson, early use of the BKB. They're going to be able to glimpse back Erica, though. Beautifully done from Whitemon. Trying to carry a Vici gaming. Now Frisk is in trouble as well as the pounce connects. The Cookie's going to get no distance away for the Undying, and Ana's got another pounce to catch up as well.
You know, there's moments on T1 where you get little glimpses of what made the OG squad of 2018, 2019 so successful. Just that one more mentality, right? Where they're able to connect through onto the next stage of the team fight and really break the ranks of their enemy team. And that's exactly what they did just then. Not satisfied enough just to get to the person that's closest. They use glimpse onto the person that was slightly further back, bring them back into the ultimate while they don't have that spell immunity. And then Ana, just with that super long pounce, able to connect onto one more. So 2 plus an objective suddenly turns a 2k net worth lead straight into 6.
Now, what do we need to see out of Vici Gaming? Because T1 still have this Aegis for another 2 minutes, so they can continue to get map control. Do we feel like Vici just need to split up the map, or can they take a team fight into the Aegis advantage?
I think you just got to give up this tier 2 top. I think you got to try and split up the map, see if you can get to that next timing. Puck really needs the Yule Scepter.
Lane Thompson, again, they're onto Erica. Who get the BKB off for the last second. The right clicks need to come out. Ana's going to attempt to find them, but again, he won't be able to keep up at the moment. Pounce is up in a couple of seconds. Ana's going to look to go for Yang instead. Off of the left side, we do see Whitemon go down. It's a pretty decent retreat out of Vici Gaming. If all they lose is Frisk, they're pretty happy with that.
That's real good. They were able to get a free kill as well. I mean, a 1-for-1 trade. You're going to be incredibly happy with that on Vici Gaming side. And, well, they might be looking to try and get a bit of a return play here, but Cuckoo, he's even playing fearless. Doesn't look like they'll be able to connect in time.
Is under attack.
Thompson giving a lot of respect through, though. He's going into the plate mail next, realizing that, look, I'm going up against this this Chaos Knight. He's starting to hit pretty damn hard, even though we've been able to slow down that game a little bit on Erica. Into that Shivas as well is going to provide a lot of assistance against some of that lifesteal coming through against... Does he have any points in the Soul Rip just yet on the Undying? He's... Can't be a complete Giga Chat yet. Just the 1 point. I think that's valid enough. You got to protect the tombstone a little.
Misses out on the spear. Backpack's already been used. They actually might be able to blow him up the first life. Vici Gaming, they're going to try and set themselves up as well. They got the tombstone laid down. They're forced to retreat, though, as all of Tier 1 show up, as Cuckoo's even got a teep into the middle. They've addressed the tombstone issue. Ana's going to be cautious, though, still playing with the Shadow Dance. He even has the Aghanim Shard to utilize as well, but Ana is caught out inside the core. The AoE damage, it's not coming through fast enough as Ana will survive, and now Thompson's into the middle. The Pulverize to bring down one. They'll turn to Frisk, and they'll even catch out XM. As a beautifully timed pounce from Ana is not enough. XM just is able to jaunt away.
Yeah, you're having to play so much more passively on XM here than I'm sure he's used to. I want to see the fight recap from that one, just in terms of the damage, because I'm sure Zephyr would be up towards the top. Look at that damage from the Venomancer. Just Poison Over, that's all he did, but it just connects forward onto all of these strength heroes, and that percentage damage, especially now that he's level 12, just does an incredible amount here. I liked this. They didn't look to commit too heavily. They knew he had 40 seconds left on the Aegis. Good Yule Scepter use by XM, but it means that he can't continue to play aggressively. And then Ana realizing the fact that, look, I've got the Dark Shroud, I've got the Shadow Dance, I'm able to play this aggressive style. They nearly get picked off, but he's able to retreat back fast
XM
enough.
Mid lane. Oh, yeah. Very close. Instead, Cuckoo's actually going to tip it to the triangle. He's on top of Mr. Snapfire out of the tower. Did you feel like there's a position where they can fight, but with Erica Not able to find the Chaos Ball. Don't get much usage out of the Phantasm at the moment.
They're just slowly losing more and more of their map. Might feel like this Dire Ancients area is the last safe place for them to be on Vici. So normally you would go and look to try and take the tier 2 top, and looks like that's what Cuckoos might be looking to prioritize. But Roshan's not going to be up for 2 or 3 minutes, so if T1 are able to get that tier 2 bottom in the meantime, that's going to be a big win coming through from them.
Seems like for Vici Gaming, they're in a position where they just need to kite these BKBs, but it's so difficult because for them, they also need to use... Yeah, that's the thing. Like, you need to use your ultimates at the initial jump as well, so how else are you going to force the BKB early? Again, they have these big team fight synergies to be able to take a 5-on-5, but it's just a question of can they get them out when the BKBs aren't there?
And you've also just got a Slark with Aghanim Scepter, double pounce. You've got a Nature's Prophet that can TP wherever the hell he wants. You've got a Primal Beast who's just picked up an Arcane Rune with that Onslaught. So they're just so mobile right now on T1, and really with what they're able to do with Zephyr and Whitemon, they might be lacking in stuns, but in terms of what they provide in area control and pickoff, it's pretty damn good.
And I think Vici with their lineup as well, they were probably expecting this Chaos Knight. Hold that thought, Thompson. Okay. Not going to commit with the charge on X. Let's creeps instead.
Yeah, I'm sure he just had a quick glance over at the minimap, just see, all right, where is everyone? At the moment, Erica was showing on the bottom-hand side for T1, but he's not going to risk running into 4. Realizes the importance of holding on to that BKB for the actual big objective team fights, like invading in onto the high ground if they get the possibility to. And right now, you just have a look at the minimap. Look at what Cuckoo's doing. Most of the time, the Nature's Prophets, they're looking to try and push out the map with their treants, but he realizes we've got the net worth advantage. Let's just not give them any avenue to come back. I want to block up a lot of these ancient camps. I want to block up the quote-unquote safe areas for Erica to be able to farm. Really liking it from Cuckoo here.
How do Vici ever start a fight when they have no vision? Like this early gem pickup, and you're going to a Slark as well. They're going to try and attempt. They still have the ward up. T1 missed this by the triangle. Ana's got the BKB, it's got to be quick. BAB gets the initial stun. It needs to be perfect of a follow-up, but it's not. Ana's got an opportunity to play around with the ultimate. Now T1, they've shown up instantly. Onto Frisk they go. But can they get more out of this towards the southern side? Erica, he's isolated. The rest of the team wanted to back up, but Erica wants to go in. Now Vici Gaming going to be able to fall up as well, but the BKBs are soon to expire. They're controlling the Chaos Knight for the moment, and as soon as they bring it back down after the Eula Scepter, Ana can get all the right clicks out. They'll try back one, and the cheese a drop. Vici don't have an answer as T1 find game 1 in the lower bracket quarterfinals.
Woohoo! That is the T1 Dota that I want to see. Get aggressive, get out on the map, prevent the enemy team from doing the big objectives that they want. Don't allow them to farm. And Vici, they just looked completely confused by this. This is night and day between the T1 that we saw in these past couple of series that they've been playing.
I wonder if questions have to be spoken about now with how you deal with this Primal Beast, because they let it through. I mean, I see there's a lot that you have to ban out as well, but with what Thompson can do early on for T1, those rotations to the side lanes, one of them didn't work out, but we saw still around the 4-minute mark rotating to top and at least trying to help out Cuckoo's lane because he was having a really difficult time.
Yeah, I mean, it was looking rough. I think you just got to make sure that you're taking away a lot of this comfort that they've got from a lot of these heroes, because you know, Thompson, he hasn't shown the greatest versatility with his hero pool so far this TI. Well, he has, but sometimes it's looked super clowny. So the stuff that's worked, you got to get rid of that. I think that would be the main priority because, I mean, we just saw some of those early rotations coming through, right? 3 minutes, 4 minutes. It's clear he's the one that's wanting to get out there and make a lot of the action happen. But enough about us. We casted a 30-minute game, but we got to get rested up for the next one. And we're going to throw it back to the panel to see what else they have to say with Nat and the gang.
Thank you so much, Danog and Aries. You know, he highlights there that, you know, Thompson might not have the biggest hero pool or whatnot, but it doesn't matter when you look that good on Primal Beast and you're able to get your hands on it. Fear, giving Thompson Primal Beast just seems to be a massive mistake.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about him having a small hero pool. I think that guy's got a pretty big hero pool, but in this particular tournament, his Primal Beast is tiny. Like, he just does things. Look at this right here. What's the timer? 4 minutes into the game, he's ganking top lane. This man is level 4, is a mid laner, and he's ganking at 3.5 minutes. Like, who else does this? Nobody else does this. And then, like, he's all over the map. He's ganking bottom, he's ganking top. Like, he has a very unique playstyle. And by the way, they first picked his hero too. He's top net worth. This guy is like just having incredible performances on this Primal Beast. But he does it on Tiny too. It's not only a Primal Beast thing. So can you get rid of all of his heroes? Maybe. If you force him into an Oracle, you might be in a good spot. But that's the only hero so far I've seen him on where he's not able to have this type of early game impact. And for the rest of your team, if your mid player is having this performance where he's first pick, he's ganking all 3 lanes, winning his lane, the game is just pretty easy for you. So he's got to get the MVP for me for this game.
Mm-hmm.
It's like watching dads versus kids playing ice hockey, right?
Oh gosh, I don't know if I would have put it down that low, but maybe T-Pen. And I mean, Fia, you talked about we might be able to ban out his hero pool, but even if you were, it means that you leave open so many more options for Honor. And the question was, is his slug enough? Is he able to do enough? And yes, that was that essence of Thompson making so much space, but the slug also doing really well. Because for you, how well did you enjoy T1's tempo that they were able to bring to this series in Game 1?
Well, so I think that their lanes went, well, mid lane went really well, and then with Thompson, you know, going around as Fear highlighted, it like turned open the whole game for them because Cuckoo was not enjoying this top lane so much. And then Vici, I think for them, they actually had to try and land a few more plays with their Mars and Snap because in the mid game, eventually with how fast T1 were playing, now you can even see that they're ahead in this clip. They have Aegis Gem. When you fall behind against this Radiant Draft, you're gonna get picked off by Disruptor, Nature's Prophet. You're gonna lose all your vision against Slark, who's running around with a gem. You're running into Veno wards and Treants blocking cams. So once they fall behind, I feel like it's nearly impossible for them to get back in this game on Vici.
A hero that you were looking forward to, T-Panda, was BAB on that Mars, and he even had the pairing of that Snapfire, but there wasn't much more VG could do despite getting that comfort in something that we were looking forward to.
Yeah, I think their map just got really small. Like, I kind of feel like everything culminates towards this Primal Beast, but that also enabled all of their cores, meaning that this CK just didn't feel like Eric actually had a game at all. Like, these were very high win rate heroes for Vici Gaming, but they were completely in the hands of T1 in terms of control in the game. I could see that they made a couple attempts where they would attempt to answer the aggression from T1. But in the end, it just kind of solved out that, well, we are, even if the game looks like it's even, we're actually playing with a very big deficit because this is a Slark lineup taking team fights and having a better team fight than your lineup. You have a Puck that's supposed to be dominant up till 20 minutes, maybe even after that. You have BAB with his Mars. Like, these are the kind of things where you are in, it's a difficult situation to put yourself in when you're playing behind against the Slark lineup.
Fear, do you think that VG is able to handle such aggression from other teams, or is it very much you try and match their tempo and they're going to be the team that might struggle?
They can definitely match it. They need to keep an eye on, like, first of all, Thompson, right? You need to limit his hero pool so he can't have this good of a game. I think Danog mentioned as well while he was casting that Slark is, I didn't really think about too much, but Slark is a hero that is very aggressive for Ana. It's not a hero he sits back on, so he joins Thompson after he has a good game, like on a Primal Beast or a Tiny, and they get really aggressive really fast. So checking these two heroes' player pool is, like, very important, and I think, you know, between the rest of the players, they both play they all play pretty static for the most part. You know, Cuckoo's going to be on his NP, he's going to be ready, but, like, the setup has to be there. And I think if Ana is playing the Slark, I think he's undefeated.